want to talk about is the dramedy that is the Derek Carr sweepstakes. Couple new things. One that's kind of not really newsworthy. The other one kind of lends to what I think is going to happen. I've talked about this before. Let's go over the non-issue, in my opinion. Raiders grant him permission to talk with other teams. And then it says down here, any teams interested will also need to first agree on compensation with Las Vegas. Well, no shit. I mean, this is kind of a non-issue. Everybody knows he's gone. This is not any kind of surprise. If he's talking to certain teams that he wants to go to help promulgate that just makes common sense. It can't really do anything about it until the Raiders are on board as well. So the second one, though, I think is even more so, and that was the report that Derek Carr is not going to extend that February 15th date on that contract. He says, I don't think that would be best for me. And number one, I totally agree with him. It would not be best for him. Why should he do any favors for the Raiders? I've talked about this before. So he's basically saying, I will not extend my current contract. If you hit the February 15th deadline, the Raiders will owe him guaranteed $40 million, $35 this year, $5 the next year. That is the reality of the situation. That's what's going to happen. If we keep him, we're on the hook for $40 million. Now, if we trade him, we'll make probably some kind of an agreement about how the compensation is going to work. That kind of happened with the Stafford Goff trade a couple years back, if you remember that. That actually was completed in principle before March 15th new season began. So something like that. However, I don't think that's going to happen. I think we're going to just straight cut him. Yes, there is a chance. I give it maybe about a 30% chance we're actually going to trade him. But it's going to have to be a pretty sweet deal for Derek Carr, number one. Some of the places that have been talked about, of course, I've talked about the Jets. I've talked about the Saints. That one's kind of getting some more heat if you look around social media. And also, I talked about this before, and that is going to the dark side and going to New England, being a New England Patriot. Now, wouldn't that be something, right? And I said Mac Jones, not so impressed with him. Derek Carr would be a definite upgrade. And of course, we have the Patriot ties here, so maybe there would be something to that. Stay tuned, of course. We will have more for you when we actually get it here, wherever he goes, whether it's a trade or an out-and-out release, which I think is going to happen.
When you have great coaches, then after you have great coaches, you get great players. You have a great organization, and you tell them one thing: just win, baby.